Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Movie Talks. My name is Daniel,
And I'm Jared.
and we are here to count down our top 10 movies of the year.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious
So 2017 was a year full of ups and downs, especially in the world of movies, and we are here to talk about the ups. We have each compiled a list of our top 10 movies of the year. We have some honorable mentions, and then I have a list of shame of movies that I have not seen that Daniel has seen.
Yes.
I was really surprised. I was going back through the release calendar for 2017, and I was just writing down all the movies that I had seen, and I saw 31. And 29 of those were in theaters, and I thought that was impressive. But then when I asked you how many you saw,
Yeah, I have seen a grand total of 60 releases in 2017. The two that I didn't get to, that I did want to get to, is Darkest Hour and Molly's Game. How about you, Jared?
Boy. All right, so a big disclaimer for this episode. My top 10 is probably not fully formed yet because of the 11 movies that I wanted to see that I did not see. So let's see. Rapid fire. Disaster Artist, Lady Bird, Florida Project, I, Tonya, Molly's Game, The Post, Call Me By Your Name, Coco, Wind River, Only the Brave, and Mother.
Okay.
I have a lot of
Only
work
the
to
Brave
do.
either, which looked pretty good.
I didn't want to see it, but then I read a few things and listened to a few things, and apparently it was just kind of a feel-good movie. I mean, even though the story's not really a feel-good movie. But no, it intrigued me enough. Probably Redbox it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I have a lot of work to do. Hopefully I will see the majority of these before our Oscar preview episode at the end of February, when we will kind of do a rebrand of Movie Talks.
Yeah.
So more on that will come later. But for right now, I think we should jump into some honorable mentions from 2017.
Yeah, okay.
So you have way more than I do.
I have 9 honorable mentions. Yeah.
I have 5, so you want to go, you say 2, then I say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
So first 2, Coco and Get Out. I'm really bummed Get Out didn't make the list. That was it doesn't even seem like that movie came out in 2017.
Yeah.
But
Got a really early release.
Yeah.
And I was really glad to see, we went and saw 3 Billboards last night, and it's back in theaters, Get Out is. Really glad to see it get a re-release right before Oscar season.
Mm-hmm.
You have the other one?
Oh, that was 2, Coco and Get Out.
Oh, Coco, yeah. Okay, so my first honorable mention, these aren't in any particular order, but mine is It Comes at Night. So I had missed this movie for the longest time. It was finally on Amazon Prime, and so I decided I was going to watch it. And I really enjoyed the setting, but I just had way too many unanswered questions.
Yeah, it does leave you wanting more, which is a thing that a lot of people like.
Mm-hmm.
General audiences typically don't. I was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer was really good. I was expecting just a little more horror and not less, and not as much dull suspense, kind of. I don't know. It was okay, but not top 10.
Yeah. Okay. My next 2 are... okay. John Wick Chapter 2.
Oh, no!
I know.
Oh.
I know. It's so good. Same thing with Get Out. I'm really bummed it didn't make the list. And then Lady Bird.
Okay.
Didn't quite hit me like it has others, but it's a hard movie not to like.
Oh, man. So. Well, now I'm really interested for your top 10. John Wick. Dang it.
I know.
Okay. My second honorable mention is Free Fire. We went and saw this movie, I think it was March.
Yeah, really early.
It was really funny. I thought Armie Hammer was really good. Charlton Copley.
Yeah, Charlton Copley.
Hilarious.
So
it was just a really fun movie. Not too long, just the right size. It had just the right length. It had a really cool feel about it, kind of Nice Guys-ish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun.
The Last Jedi.
Okay.
I really like it. It is absolutely flawed. But it is so often amazing. So, and then
you've seen it 2 times, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I've seen it 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
Has it regressed with each viewing?
No, I like because remember the first time I didn't even like.
I remember it was over and you were just.
Everyone else were with like Turner and like, oh, it's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I was like, I don't really want to say anything, and then I liked it the second time, and then thought it was just as good the third time. And then Logan probably would have been number 11.
Logan's good.
Yeah.
All right, my third honorable mention is The Founder. This movie, I really don't know why I watched it. I kind of just stumbled upon it. Yeah, Michael Keaton plays Ray Kroc, who kind of pioneered the way for McDonald's. And so it was really cool just to kind of get the backstory of that. Nick Offerman, and his name escapes me at the moment, but he was also in Zodiac, who plays the other brother.
Yeah.
The acting was good. I really liked it. I wanted to find a spot for it in my top 10, but just couldn't do it.
My next two are Mother, which doesn't make the top 10 because I have no desire to ever see it again.
Okay, that's what I've heard. But
yeah,
man, I really want to see it.
It's a really good movie, but yeah, I just can't see myself watching it ever again. And then The Shape of Water.
Okay.
Probably the front runner for Best Picture. Actually, I mean, we'll talk about it in our Oscars one, but
okay,
didn't quite.
I had wanted to see that at first, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, my fourth honorable mention is War for the Planet of the Apes. If you watched our summer of 2017 episode, you know that I really did like this movie. It was really good. Woody Harrelson was phenomenal. Andy Serkis should get a nomination for an Oscar in some area. They need to create a category for visual effects actors or something. But really good. I thought it was a great completion of the saga, and I was pleased with it. But again, 10 more that are better.
Yeah. And my last honorable mention is War for the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Same with Mother, oddly. For whatever reason, I do not need to see this again.
It was pretty lengthy, and it did drag in a few spots, so I do have to agree with you there.
Yeah. I loved it when I saw it, though, so had to mention it.
And my my fifth honorable mention, I don't know why, I feel weird for saying this, but it was The Greatest Showman. I know that you have no desire to see it. I really wanted to see it. The lyricists for La La Land worked on this movie. They're nominated for an Oscar, which I think they're gonna win. Hugh Jackman was good. This movie was really fun, but it's really goofy in a lot of spots. And there were multiple parts of this movie where I laughed out loud because of how cheesy it was. I like it. The soundtrack's really good. It's a movie that I can see myself rewatching, but not necessarily because it's good, more just because it's fun.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's top 10 worthy, even though it was a really good movie and audiences received it really well. I think it's at a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes audience score.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so that's our honorable mentions. Are you ready to dive into the world of top 10?
I'm ready to dive into the world of top 10. Okay.
All right.
My number 10 is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Wow. Okay.
Definitely a movie that jumped up on a second viewing for me.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't even in your top 10
It was
night?
On my actual, because I ranked all 60 movies that I saw. It was number 19.
Whoa.
When I saw it.
Okay, I thought it was going to be right in the middle of your top 10, but...
Yeah, I mean...
But then again, you have seen way more movies than I have, so...
I did find it to be, a bit tonally inconsistent, and I thought some of the transitions were kind of jarring the first time, but I think this was a case of understanding where the movie is going and being able to more easily digest it. I think the story in this movie just feels so complete. There's so many amazing character arcs and performances and confrontations, and everything is so beautifully tied together. And it also contains some of the year's more shocking moments, particularly definitely. A flashback scene that occurs probably a little before the halfway point.
3 Billboards is in my top 10, and that was one of the main things I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That whenever that scene happens, I don't think I've ever been more shocked.
Mm-hmm.
In a movie theater.
So well edited too.
I mean, our theater was pretty lively. I mean, people were laughing at everything.
Yeah, this was
And when that happened, dead silent.
Oh yeah, a lot of moments where there was just dead silence in the theaters.
It was jarring and really
in a good way.
Kind of sickening, but really, I mean, it's a really good movie. Yeah, like you said about it being complete, but yet it has so many different character arcs. I feel like you have Woody Harrelson's character story, and then you have Sam Rockwell, and then you have Frances McDormand, and they all have I feel like each storyline has its own message that it's trying to get across. To where the movie, it doesn't really have a defined theme, but it has all these subplots. You have racism and suicide, and then you have murder and the role of the police in modern society, and it's
Right.
kind of like Get Out. It seems like a very timely movie in regards to the themes that it tries to tackle, and it does a really good job. I really liked it.
Yeah, it's really impressive how many things are interwoven in the story.
Yeah.
Without it ever feeling ham-fisted or not.
And the
like, out of
dialogue
place.
is realistic. The interactions of the small... it's kind of how you imagine people in a small town would talk to each other because they know each other so well. They kind of know how to get under each other's skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
All right. My number 10 is Logan. So
Nice.
it did... you said it almost snuck in for you. It did sneak in for me. This movie was really way better than I was expecting.
Yeah.
James Mangold, did he do 310
310 to
Yuma?
Yuma.
Yeah, this is 310 to Yuma, but X-Men style. It is a full-blown Western, and it is fantastic. It was really refreshing to get a new take on a superhero story because most of the time it's, supernatural and we need to save the world. Whereas this was kind of isolated, and it's in the desert, and then you go to the mountains, and it's the character development is way tighter in this one. I feel you don't have to worry about Thor's halfway across the universe and Asgard and all this stuff. No, you have Logan, you have the girl, I don't know her name, and then
X-23.
Yeah, X-23, and then you have the villains, and they kind of all move together throughout the movie, so you don't get too distracted. And man, Patrick Stewart in this movie, phenomenal. He was hilarious. He didn't get nominated, did he?
No.
I wish he had. It's definitely not a performance that you would think would get an Oscar nomination, and clearly that was popular opinion. But I think it was a really good job by him and a good way to kind of close off that character. I know they're still going to make young X-Men movies, but
Yeah.
I feel like that was good closure for the Patrick Stewart chapter.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments in here that just are almost like cathartic. Like
Definitely.
Like from the opening scene all the way to the ending.
It was a really good send off for Wolverine. But what's interesting is I had read that Hugh Jackman said he would consider doing another Wolverine movie
Really?
if he could team up with the Avengers. And now that Disney has purchased Fox, they can do that. And what's really interesting about it is the time that Logan is set in, there's about a 20-year gap. And so they could go back in to where Avengers Infinity War takes place, and it would still fit in with the timeline for Wolverine to be alive.
Wow.
So I don't know if it's going to happen or not. Chances are probably not, but I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. All right. My number 9 is The Florida Project.
Okay.
First entry from A24 on this list so far.
There will be many to come.
Many more. So The Florida Project basically follows a group of kids living in poverty outside of Disney World. And it's that kind of contrast between the dream world and the reality of poverty that made this such a powerful movie for me. And it's a very true picture of childhood in that kids will bring fun in whatever circumstance they may find themselves. The ending of this movie didn't work for me at all, though.
Okay.
And that's why it's not higher. It's a total departure from the rest of the movie. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And I get the thought behind it, but I thought the execution was a bit shaky. But I love the movie overall.
Okay. What do you think Willem Dafoe has a shot to win the Oscar?
Oh, I'm totally behind Willem Dafoe getting.
I love Willem Dafoe. I love him.
Either him or Sam Rockwell, which are probably the likely top 2 contenders. Either of them, I would be thrilled.
All right, so my number 9 is Logan Lucky. So I go from Logan to Logan Lucky. Yeah, the more and more I think about this movie, it is just so much fun. I mean, we have an episode about it, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But Adam Driver, Channing Tatum, Daniel Craig.
Yeah, Adam Driver's.
Need I say
so
more?
Good.
It's so much fun. Hillbilly Oceans. Oceans 7-Eleven.
Yeah, didn't we agree on a 3-star rating for that one?
I think I might have given it a 3.5.
3.5? Okay.
But no, I mean,
I like it more the more you've thought about it.
Yeah, definitely. And I can see myself rewatching it more and more, not just because it's fun and entertaining, but because of the characters in it. I think the characters are why it's at number 9 for me.
Cool. Okay, number 8 is one that I'm sure you're expecting to be a little bit higher on the list. It's Baby Driver.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I too was expecting this to make it a little bit higher when I saw it back in June. It was actually my favorite movie of the year at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it no less than I did. It's just like the second half of this year just blew everything out of the water.
Yeah. After the summer, I mean, things really kicked into gear.
Uh-huh.
This has been a really good year for movies.
It really has.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand why people are complaining that it hasn't been. Maybe it's because superhero movies weren't that good this year. I mean, we had Logan and Wonder Woman, which were great, but...
Then you got Justice League. I mean, Guardians was good. Spider-Man was good.
Guardians was a disappointment for me.
Okay.
Spider-Man was somewhat of a disappointment for me. But, yeah. Yeah, not too much to say about Baby Driver. Everyone's seen it, and everyone loves it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My number 8 is one that I have a feeling will show up later on your list. It's The Killing of a Sacred Deer. So I watched this movie last night after 3 Billboards. Finished it at 2:30, and let me tell you, I was really tired, but I couldn't fall asleep. This movie grabbed me and wouldn't let go.
Yeah.
The colors in this movie so vibrant and bright, and it feels like you're in a hospital, which I feel like is the point of the movie, even though it does take place in a hospital. Colin Farrell is incredible. His accent and just the way he carries himself, and he speaks to his children and his wife. When the movie first started, I thought something was wrong with him, like his brain or something. Yeah. I had no idea what this movie was about going into it. I just knew that at some point someone was going to get paralyzed and not be able to walk. But the dialogue in this movie is incredible. I love it. The ending wasn't as good as I had anticipated, but I feel like it was a really creative way to end it.
Yeah.
I almost want to say that I knew who he was going to kill, but then at the same time, I didn't. I just kind of had a feeling. And then to see it happen in a way that was unintentional, I guess it just kind of made me think that I didn't really know. But no, it was really good. Yeah, we can talk about it more when you come to it
later. Okay, so number 7 for me is The Disaster Artist. This is by far the funniest movie of the year for me.
Oh, man.
It had me laughing out loud so much more than any other 2017 release. This and Baby Driver, I think, are basically equals in regards to entertainment value.
Really?
Yeah, what just barely puts this one over the top for me is the unbelievable true story behind it all. That is just infinitely fascinating to me. Really, my only problems with this movie is what it didn't do. They didn't get to address everything that went on behind the scenes, and I wish they had spent a little more time on some of the smaller characters like Denny. But what we got was as good as I possibly could have imagined it. Chris R. steals the show, in my opinion.
I need to see this movie. I need to. I'm so upset I haven't seen it. Mainly, I was waiting off because I haven't seen The Room. There was a watching party that I didn't get to go to, and I was really upset. And so I've kind of been deterred from viewing The Room alone because I feel like a lot of it...
Oh, yeah,
that's what weird. Makes it
that's
funny.
Weird to watch it alone.
Yeah, it's like watching it with your friends and being able to just laugh at how utterly terrible it is.
Yeah.
So that is definitely one that I'm looking forward to watching.
Mm-hmm.
My number 7 movie of 2017 was Get Out.
Nice.
I don't even know what to say about this movie. I mean, we didn't do an episode on it, did we?
No. We saw it before we even started the podcast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because we started this in like
summer.
June? Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen this movie, I hope you can understand why I'm at a loss for words, because it tackles so many difficult things to talk about and disturbing things to talk about, and
But it's so, it has a lot of difficult themes that are like difficult to discuss, but it never sacrifices its messages for its entertainment value.
No,
which is really impressive. And
I mean,
that's probably why it's getting so much love from the Academy.
Yeah, I remember at first being surprised that it was classified as a comedy / musical at the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely not a comedy, even though it does have its comedic moments. But it's able to balance a lot of themes well, and if it was, in my opinion, if this movie was made by anyone other than Jordan Peele, it would have been a disaster.
Probably, yeah.
It would have either been a full-blown attack on a certain community, or it would have been one of the most racist movies ever made.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was just a really good balance, and I have insane respect for Jordan Peele, and I hope that he wins the
Directing?
the Oscar for Best Director. I don't think it's going to happen, but I am sure proud like I did it. I'm really happy that he got a nomination.
Yeah.
I feel like that says a lot about this movie, especially being released in February.
And I definitely wouldn't rule out him winning Best Director, because they're not going to give Get Out Best Picture.
Yeah.
That's pretty much a certainty. The nomination was good enough. But
good enough.
yeah. But I feel like the Academy wants to give Get Out something. So it could be screenplay, but it also could be directing.
Yeah, screenplay would be good. All right, number 6.
Yeah, number 6 is the movie that I saw most recently that has made this list, and it is Paul Thomas Anderson's latest, Fan of Thread, and possibly Daniel Day-Lewis's last movie as well.
Yep.
That is the case as far as we know so far. I don't think this movie quite reaches the greatness of There Will Be Blood, but this is another home run for Paul Thomas Anderson. He is one of many favorites, living American filmmakers, and he is still going strong. Some of the best acting easily of the year is here. Daniel Day-Lewis doesn't even he's actually matched by other people in this movie.
That's what I'd heard. I don't know who he goes up against, but she got nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah. So, and then another lady got nominated as well. It has some of the best cinematography of the year and one of the best scores of the year too. It actually could possibly win at the Academy Awards. Blade Runner didn't get nominated. I'm still mad about that.
Blade Runner's score is so good.
Yeah, but I can't wait to see this movie again. I've only seen it once, so I haven't had too much time to digest it. But
hopefully, I can see it before Oscars.
It's great.
All right, my number 6 is probably the complete opposite of what yours is. You want to take a guess?
Is it Baby Driver?
No, John Wick Chapter 2.
I
don't think you could possibly get on further ends of the spectrum. Mine is a bloodbath of just monstrous proportions. This movie is so good. I loved the first John Wick, and coming into this one, I was kind of worried. I didn't know how they were going to handle the success of the first one, and action movie sequels don't usually turn out the way you hope. But this movie did a really good job of expanding upon its universe. The way that they opened up the Continental and showed how, hey, there are assassins everywhere.
Yeah.
It was just fascinating. The action sequences were really good. Specifically the mirror room.
You like the mirror scene?
Action sequence, that was really good.
I like the tunnel scene personally.
The tunnel scene's really
Catacombs.
good. Catacombs. And then even the opening scene where he gets the car back.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's all so good. It's so much fun. Common's really good in it too. Which was surprising to me. I love Ian McShane. The ending of this movie had my heart racing, and I wanted to get up and run out of the theater too because I thought like someone was chasing me.
Yes, I cannot wait for Chapter 3. That is going to be like up there with my most anticipated of the year, whatever year it's coming out. 2019, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good, and I heard that rumor is Samuel L. Jackson might be joining.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So that would just be phenomenal. I love this movie. Keanu Reeves has found the role he was born for.
yeah,
Yeah, I love it.
really.
John Wick Chapter 2.
Okie dokie. My number 5 is The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Here we go.
Now, I had a very strange reaction to this movie. If you've seen it, which you have, you know how dark and twisted of a movie it is.
It's so just, it messes with your mind, and the whole time you're wondering what is going on.
Yeah, but I was grinning like a little kid on Christmas watching this movie because the style of filmmaking here is something we haven't seen anything outside of a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange and it's unsettling, but I loved every second of it.
Yep.
It is so good. I can't say, it's not a movie I can recommend to certain people, but for the right type of person, this is just like an incredible film.
Definitely. A24's, it's
A24.
A24 at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. We still have a lot of room for A24 to sneak in there.
Yeah.
That was your number 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so top 5. My number 5 is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Nice.
This movie is really good. The characters I love. We've already talked about it, so I won't get too in depth. But I do want to discuss Sam Rockwell's character, Is it Rockwell?
Yeah,
Rockwell?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. His character really has me torn because I love the acting. B, his character is despicable in the first 2/3 of the movie. C, I don't necessarily want to call it redemption, but in the final moments of the movie, there is a slight transformation after he reads the letter from Chief Willoughby.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad for saying it, but I can't help but rooting for him in those last moments.
Yeah.
Because I just get the feeling that he's turned the corner and he's going to try to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. I can't say that with certainty because throughout the entire movie he's so volatile in all of his actions.
Yeah.
I in particular love the scene where he barges into the advertising company and throws Willoughby out the window.
All in one take too.
Yes, it's just the way he moves with the sunglasses on in the right stick. It's cool. It's cool, but at the same time, it's evil.
Yeah, you can't stand by what he's doing. But
yeah, I don't know. This movie has such diverse and complex characters that all work together to serve the story that just tries to tackle so many different things. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. We had discussed at the end of the movie whether or not we think that.
Yeah, spoilers at this point.
Yeah, spoilers. What's Frances McDormand's character's name? Helen.
Her
character's
name. Her character is. Wait, why is this escaping me right now?
Mildred Hayes. Mildred Hayes. When Mildred and Jason Dixon are driving, we had discussed if we thought that they were going to kill the man.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great way to end the movie, not telling us.
Well, see, the more I thought about it, I think it's supposed to be an ambiguous ending, but I don't really actually think it's supposed to be an ambiguous ending because we see the guy that they're going after earlier in the movie, and he's the guy who throws that thing at Frances McDormand in her shop. So I think once she finds out that it's that guy, there's no way he gets out alive.
No, I agree that I don't think it is necessarily leaving the question unanswered. I think it's a good way to end the movie, though, not specifically telling us. Because I think it speaks a lot more to the story, leaving it up to the viewer to kind of see that, hey, throughout this entire movie, the emotions of these characters have changed so much and so often that you don't really know what they're going to do. And at the end, the characters are kind of composed and they're even getting along. Mm-hmm. And I think that the fact that that they're probably going to end up killing this man just reinforces the idea that human emotion can change like that.
Right.
And I just think it was a great way to end the movie. And I do want to say this. I'm an exposition guy, as I've said before. But this movie is one of the few that I've seen in recent years where
There's none of it.
where it ends better than it started.
Yeah.
And I think to me, that speaks volumes because it starts out with this one idea, and it's the billboards and Mildred trying to call attention to her daughter's murder.
Mhm.
And then it ends with something so much more. And
Yeah.
it's just a great movie.
I think part of the reason why I liked it better the second time was there is really no exposition in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of thrusts you into a town where the characters, rather than being described up front, they're just revealed through their actions later.
Yeah,
And it's just a lot easier to take in on a second viewing, I think.
definitely.
Okay. Number 4. Okay, so now in any given year, these next 4 could have easily taken the top spot or the second spot at the very least.
I agree with you.
Already. You agree?
I agree.
So my number 4 is Good Time.
So is mine.
Really?
Let's go.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That was so loud.
I know. Sorry.
So this is one of the best. Thrillers are my favorite genre of movies. And this is one of the best thrillers I've seen in years. Robert Pattinson gives hands down my favorite performance of the entire year. I was consistently blown away by what the Safdie brothers were able to accomplish on such a small budget too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I loved everything in this movie. The performances, the cinematography, the score was incredible.
The setting.
How
they were able to go from location to location so quickly.
The pacing is out of this world.
It felt like one night.
Yeah.
In the span, it's only an hour and 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's man, this movie's so good. I need to go back and listen to what we said in our original review of it because this movie, I think I had left it open, my rating of it open-ended at the end.
And I think
because I hadn't decided.
Maybe.
At least a 4.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's really good.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about it.
Yeah. It's a great movie. A24 again.
Yep. So I guess you can just lead right back into your third,
My
since
number
that
3?
was my 4th. Yeah.
Okay. And I wonder if we're about to have the same one again. Maybe, maybe not. Okay.
I don't think
You
so.
don't think so? Oh, okay. Okay. Number 3 for me is A Ghost Story.
Okay.
Definitely one of my favorite theatrical experiences of the year. I've got my eye on David Lowery now. I didn't even know who he was before I saw this movie, but he wrote, directed, and edited this movie to perfection. Okay, this movie made me cry twice. It was the only movie of the year to do that. And it's the type of movie that makes you realize that there are still original ideas in modern day cinema. And this is a movie that I really hope more people discover. I can't guarantee that you'll like it, but I can guarantee that you've probably never seen anything like it.
Definitely. All right, my number 3 is Baby Driver. Yeah. So, once again, Daniel's already talked about it earlier in this episode. We talked about it in our summer episode. It was both our number 1 of the summer. So, I have only high praise for this movie. It's a lot of fun, really good. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Yeah, basically the Nice Guys of 2017, in a way. Fun summer movie.
Never thought of it that way, but yeah.
Okay, top 2. I think you know what my top 2 are.
Yeah, I know it, and I think you know what mine are.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so number 2 is Call Me By Your Name. This is a movie that I was so wrapped up in. The world that Luca Guadagnino created in this movie felt so timeless and authentic.
Say that name again?
Luca Guadagnino. Not Guadagnino.
Luca Guadagnino.
Yeah, Guadagnino.
Wow.
Armie Hammer and Timothée Chalamet, who, every once in a while, actors will come out of nowhere and they'll be in, every movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Calling by Your Name, Lady Bird, and Hostels with Christian Bale. And those two are obviously... Not Christian Bale, Armie Hammer.
Yeah, I was about to say Christian Bale's in Lady Bird.
Oh, no, yeah, in Hostels. But they're obviously major contributors as to why this film works as well as it does. their chemistry is so good. And Michael Stuhlbarg, too, is fantastic, as he always is. The cinematography in this movie is incredible.
Is it up for the Oscar?
I'm actually not sure.
It better not be. Nothing can take it away from Deakins.
Oh, but yeah. Oh gosh, if Deakins doesn't win the Oscar this time. But back to Call Me by Your Name. The music by I think Sufjan Stevens is how you pronounce his name. He composed some originals for this movie, and they fit so well into the movie. This is one of those films that, as the lights came up in the theater, I was like, "Oh yeah, that was a movie. Like that wasn't real. That wasn't real life." It's not often I get so lost into a film that I forget I'm watching one. And this is the movie that did that to me this year. And there's only one movie I like more that we'll get to in a second.
We will get to it later. All right, my number 2 is A Ghost Story. This is one of the most emotional movies I've ever seen. I'm trying to think. The only time I can remember specifically crying in a movie is I Am Legend when Will Smith has to kill his dog. Other than that, I mean, this movie was so close to making me cry that I feel like it did make me cry.
Yeah.
When it was over, it didn't leave me. I was stuck thinking about death and the idea that those who die remain and observe, but can't do anything, and they long to reach out and communicate with you. It's heartbreaking, and this movie's heartbreaking. Casey Affleck's character, even though for over an hour he's covered by a sheet, you can see so much emotion.
Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
In the eyes of the ghost.
A lot of that has to do with editing, I think, because it's
definitely the way it zooms in and the music coming up. But I don't know. I'm having trouble talking about this movie because it's just it pulls so much out of you, and it's a short movie, so I don't want to say it's an easy watch because it's not. It takes a toll on you, but it's so effective with its message. It's just in and out, and it was filmed right here in the area. It was either Irving or Fort Worth.
Yeah,
which that added an extra layer to me. Just kind of it made it feel more real and more possible because it was just in our backyard, and it makes you think more and more about life after death. And I don't know. I feel like if I talk about this movie anymore, I might start crying. So it's really good. A24 has done it again. They made it on my list 3 times. I think they made it on your list at least
4 times.
4 times, yeah. So they're doing something right over there.
Yeah. The Ghost Story is actually my favorite movie of the year at a certain point, and it hung in there for a while. It's a couple months.
But there can only be one king of 2017. And that king is Blade Runner.
Blade Runner 2049. Okay, see, I wish I could say this is a surprise. Like, I wish I could have my number 1 be some, like, whoa, where did that come
from? Out
of
nowhere.
But Blade Runner 2049 came out this year. So, and it's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. It's not only my favorite movie of 2017, it's my second favorite movie of the decade. It is in my top 20 favorite movies of all time. It's up there with the best of the best for me. Denis Villeneuve gets better. I don't know how he does it. He puts out a movie a year, and it's getting better and better every single time he puts something else out.
Yep.
Unfortunately, his next movie is gonna have to be a disappointment because there's no way he tops this, at least for now. It's. I think he's doing Dune next.
Oh yeah, the one based on the novel, I think. I
Yeah.
mean, I think our Blade Runner episode was maybe an hour, and I mean,
Yeah.
we could have talked and talked and talked.
Oh, and by the way, I bumped this up to a 5-star rating now. I gave it a 4.5 in the review, but this movie's incredible.
Okay, has it surpassed the original for you?
No, not quite.
Okay.
Not quite.
I mean, there's so much about this movie that I love. The score is incredible. The cinematography. Please, Deacons win.
Please.
Oh my gosh. Harrison Ford actually looking like he's invested in a movie.
Yeah.
Since I mean, I think he cared about Star Wars, but this movie, I think he really brought it, and he did a fantastic job. Ryan Gosling was good. I really liked Robin Wright.
Yes.
Jared Leto was good.
Very well casted movie.
I can't think of a weak link in this movie. I mean, it's so good. It's long, but that doesn't diminish my my urge to rewatch it because it's just it's Blade Runner.
Yeah. This is legit one of the best looking movies ever made, I think. At least that I've seen.
Definitely.
So if it doesn't win cinematography,
there's an issue.
yeah. There's a serious issue.
Oh man. It's so good. I almost wish we hadn't done an episode on it earlier so that we had more to talk about, but I mean, I think we hit all the bases in our first review of it, and I feel like at this point, anything we say more about this movie, praising it, we'd just be repeating ourselves. So.
Yeah. So that is it.
Yep.
2017 was a remarkable year for movies, I think. I thought it was even better than 2016, which I also thought was fantastic.
I mean, it's been fantastic for me so far, and I still have 11 movies to watch that are going to make it even better.
Right.
So, do you want to do our least favorite of the year?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Oh boy. So to end it on a down note, I don't know. Not a down note. Do you want to do like just utterly the worst, or just so bad it was funny?
So Bad It Was Funny is my worst of the year.
Wait, but we didn't see the Emoji Movie.
No, yeah, we didn't see the Emoji Movie.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah, this is just, of the ones we've seen.
Yeah.
Of the ones I've seen, my least favorite is The Bye Bye Man.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good, honestly. Like, it just is. It's like The Room status almost.
Oh, like it's so bad it's so good?
It's so bad it's so good. Unlike The Void. The Void is my second least favorite movie.
What is The Bye Bye Man even about? Is it like Slender Man?
Don't say it, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it.
Okay, what? Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah.
Can you give 0 stars on Letterboxd?
No.
So you gave it, okay.
I've given 2 half stars to The Bye Bye Man in The Room. So let me just read this, and this will be my review. When 3 college students move into an old house off campus, they unwittingly unleash a supernatural entity known as the Bye Bye Man, who comes to prey upon them once they discover his name. The friends must try to save each other, all the while keeping the Bye Bye Man's existence a secret to others, to save others from the same deadly fate.
It sounds like it'd be really easy to do that.
Yeah. Just don't say it, don't think it.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to. Don't think it. I lost the game.
Shoot. I lost the game.
Okay. My least favorite, Transformers: The Last Night. It was just so long.
I didn't see it.
I always have faith that a Transformers movie is going to be good, but it just never happens. So long, just so unnecessarily complicated that nothing gets done. So many unanswered questions that just, I mean, it leaves the studio with no choice but to make a sequel. I mean, they're doing it on purpose just to get more money. I have no words to describe how bad it was and how I wasted 3 hours of my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I think. Let's see. You want to do recommends?
Yeah, I don't have I know you have one.
I do
Let me see
have
if I
one.
can get something.
All right.
You have
So while you're looking, I feel like I now have the right to say this. I'm gonna recommend Breaking Bad. I started watching it upon the recommendation of Daniel and a few other friends, and I'm not done with it yet. I'm halfway through season 4, but I feel like I have watched enough and I've grown close enough to these characters to where I can recommend it that other people watch it. And so it's one of the most brilliantly written shows I've ever seen. The characters are incredible. The transformation of Walter White. Aaron Paul does an amazing job as Jesse Pinkman. Giancarlo Esposito as Gus Fring. Incredible. I love Jonathan Banks as Mike.
Yes.
Just everything about this everything about this series, it feels like a movie. Everything about this series is so real. And I feel the threat that Walter feels throughout the whole series because I've grown attached to him and his family as well and his friends. And so whenever they're in danger, I feel like I'm in danger. And I just feel like that's one of the great things about the show is that it's so real and you become so invested.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll recommend The Last of the Mohicans, which is obviously a classic movie, but I just saw it for the first time recently because I was trying to see some Daniel Day-Lewis movies before I saw Phantom Thread. And I thought it was really good. There's some pretty awesome battle sequences. Who's it? Oh yeah, it's a Michael Mann movie, who obviously did Heat and Collateral. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend checking it out.
Yeah. It does have a really good score too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that does it for our 2017 wrap up. I know that this episode is being recorded in 2018, but I think we can finally put a close on 2017.
Yeah.
We will be back for our Oscar preview. Hopefully, I will have seen more movies so that we can make some predictions. I think we should have a competition, see who can get the most right.
Yeah.
But then of course we'll do what we want to win, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna redo our intro, maybe new logo, maybe a new name if we can ever think of anything. But I don't know. Movie Talks is kind of stuck. Yeah. So I think that does it for episode 10 of Movie Talks. Once again, I'm Jared.
And I'm Daniel.
And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.